When solving a Rubik's Cube, everyone wants to improve the result, everyone wants to solve faster and set a new record. But solving Rubik's Cube more, practicing more and learning more algorithms, sooner or later it is possible to approach even the world record. But I think all of this is not enough to solve a Rubik's Cube faster than anyone in the world. One of the most important factors for me, and probably for you too, is the choice of Rubik's Cube. What is the best Rubik's Cube to choose? According to your comments, this is the most popular question that I'm asked, and today I will try to find the answer to it and find the perfect 3x3 cube for you and for me. Over the years in Speedcubing, I've solved a lot of Rubik's Cubes, but in general there are more, hundreds, even thousands of different models in the world, and there is no point in comparing them all. So I'm taking the 5 popular Rubik's Cubes among Speedcubers. I ordered all these cubes at thecubicle.com, my favorite online puzzle store. Almost every cube can be found there, because the assortment of goods is excellent and huge. There are both simple budget cubes for beginners and latest versions of smart cubes with magnetic levitation and other features. There are also lots of other puzzles and accessories for puzzle lovers too. Check the link in the description and use my special promo code CUBASTIC to get a discount. So we ordered 5 popular Rubik's Cubes among Speedcubers at the Cubicle store, and there is such a fast delivery that they have already reached us. The package literally flew to us. So let's see what is in this package, what were sent to us from the Cubicle store. To be honest, I was wondering, although I think my assumptions are going to come true. Yeah, obviously I had no doubts that the first thing I will see is the GAN X. One of the most popular and one of the best Rubik's Cubes, in my opinion. Waylon WR, nice version of a cube by Moyu. Then we have a Gwogen EDM Magnetic, also the nice version from Moyu, more budget one, and we have a legend, VOC 3 Power M. This was once my main Rubik's Cube, and MGC. Maybe this is the latest version. By the way, all the links to these cubes are in the description under this video. Now let's get to the bottom of this, unpack them, enjoy these puzzles and get to know them better. Let's start perhaps with the cube GAN X. GAN X, here we have the numerical IPG. This is the cube that is now my main. And to be honest, I have already gotten a little bit tired of it. Yeah, I think it's the most handsome, yeah, it's the coolest, one of the most expensive, but I still think I need something different. God, I will never get tired of unpacking Rubik's Cubes by GAN. You know, it's just some kind of special pleasure. It's all about its set, all this low-key, modest, stylish one-color packaging. Here is its additional set. Look, the last time I unpacked the GAN X, I don't even remember. I forgot that there are these extra magnets here. We are going to talk about it in detail today. Additional nuts. GAN itself in the additional box. I already forgot how it opens, and it is in the case, and it is, of course, new cube. I still feel the smell, god, of Chinese factory. GAN X. Next we have a VOC 3 Power M, a legend in a simple box, which was surprising at the time, but now it is nothing new. Now actually I noticed that all the cubes looks great during unpacking. That is very cool boxes and packaging. Well, we still see what is in the other ones, but VOC Power M, in principle everything is really modest. Here is the cube, this kind of stand looks nice. By the way, the additional center. That is, if I don't want to have a logo on the cube, I can just put a white center on it. Well, that's never happened before. And here we have some extra stuff like a VOC rack to wipe your sweaty hands after sweaty solvings, and a sticker and all sorts of manuals. It should be said that there is a set of replaceable springs. This is a thing that can change the turn of your cube. We will also talk about it later. So the next cube is VOC Power 3M. Weilong WR, Rubik's Cube which is just created for a world record, judging by its name. Let's see if it's really built for a world record. The package is impressive, probably the most complete set, the largest box and the most filled box. There's papers that nobody needs, there's a cube in this box, there's a stand inside. It goes here and it looks really beautiful. As for the package, there are a lot of features which we will talk about a little bit later. All this is also useful for adjustment the Rubik's Cube and for changing its rotation characteristics. In the meantime guys, the third cube on our list is Weilong WR. And there are two more or less budget cubes left. To be honest, I've never even held this Rubik's Cube in my hands. Gauguin EDM. The name is strange, the cube is very similar to the previous one, at least in that there is exactly the same stand. The only downside of this cube is that there is no colored plastic version. I like colored plastic cubes and most people like them too. If you like stickers on a black background, this is an advantage for you. If not, then probably you have to put up with these colors. But nevertheless it turns very well, but the packaging is probably the scarcest of all the puzzles today. Although no, there is something in the box, so our fourth Rubik's Cube is Gauguin EDM. And last but not least on our list is the Rubik's Cube MGC version 2M, one of the newest versions of MGC. MGC is a line of budget, top-of-the-line Rubik's Cubes. They can be said to have a middle price segment, and that is why they have become very popular. The best quality for that money. Check out how it unpacks. Great. So here we have... Whoa! And by the way, there is even such a nice set, there is something inside. It is very difficult to get it. They saved a little on the box, but not on the kit. Okay, I figured this is gonna crumble all over the studio, so I'm not unpacking. In this box we have a setup kit and manual. And naturally, a legendary, inexpensive, top-of-the-line Rubik's Cube MGC. Well, comparing some of the best Rubik's Cubes on the planet isn't that easy. However, now they are all in front of me, and among them are such cubes as GAN X Numerical IPG, Bock 3 Power M, Moyu Weilong WR, Gauguin EDM and MGC version 2 Magnetic. We will have to choose the best of all these Rubik's Cubes and we will evaluate them on the following criteria: their price, design, features and possibilities, speed, control, as well as the general impressions of the puzzle. Each of these Rubik's Cubes will receive points in a 5-point system. The best in a certain category gets 5, the worst gets 1. And so we choose the best Rubik's Cube to set a world record. Let's go! And as for the prices of these Rubik's Cubes, we went to the site where we bought them and just looked at how much they cost. So YJ 3x3 MGC version 2 is $18. This is the lowest price for a really good cool speed cube. So a Rubik's Cube with the lowest price gets a 5 points. Next we look at the Rubik's Cube Gauguin EDM. This is the one that doesn't have a colored plastic version. $26, slightly more, gets 4 points for price. So Mofang Vogue Power 3M, legend. It is in our third place, respectively 2 points for his $39. Well, and then we have this awesome cube Moyu Weilong WRM. As for me, it is a contender for the first place in this video. Its price is $30. Of course, it gets 3 points. And GAN X gets 1 point. No matter how cool it is, no matter how awesome it is, it has one big disadvantage. It costs almost twice as much as everything else on my table, $50. Yeah, the price of GAN is high, so it gets the lowest score in this column. So it's time to talk about the structure of this Rubik's Cubes, I mean both internal and external. We'll evaluate the quality of the build, the quality of the plastic and all sorts of features. Both designers ones and the inside ones that will affect the characteristics of this cube. Let's take a look at MGC. You know, this is probably the simplest modern Rubik's Cube. I don't see any extra rails inside, no extra rotation axis, except for a small notch here to reduce friction. But if you notice, here inside we have primary plastic, which means that the structure of this cube doesn't have plastic from recycling. That is, this plastic serves longer, and it, in fact, is good. And this is all despite the fact that it has the lowest price. The exterior of this cube is not much different. I would even say that it has not very good external characteristics. Because I see the structure of the plastic. It glares a little bit. I don't know if you can see it, but I see it well. And yeah, it has the most common, the simplest bolts without any fine tuning. That is, in fact, it's really quite sparse here, but I really like its colors. I really like them. They can be compared with the colors of GAN. No, you cannot compare them, okay. Well, since GAN is in our hands, let's continue with it. This cube, as far as I'm concerned, is a reference in its structure, both internal and external. It looks great. The logo on this cube is printed, so it's not glued like here. That's a big advantage. And another positive point is that the cube is glossy, with stunning colors and a special structure of the central element. And its structure allows you to cut the corner better. That is, it is so well thought out that even the design of this cube affects the solving. As for its insides, you will see here both white and black premium plastic. Everything else I think can be put in the section with features and opportunities, but as for the structure, design and appearance, I think for the time being it is a benchmark. Next we have WR. Moyu WR is also one of the examples of simple cubes, but here it also has some advantages. These are the central elements that are inside of it with these skirts. They prevent the cube from falling apart during solving. Also, it has premium plastic only on the inside. The colors are quite faint for me, but someone even likes it. It has special cap on the central detail. I don't know if that's a benefit or a drawback, but we are not going to go into that yet, because that's the next section. But talking about the structure, about the design, in principle the cube is made of the best materials, and it is felt in the hands, so I think 3 points are guaranteed. Well, then we have VOG Power M. Legend, folks. This cube is more than 5 years old and it is still in one of the highest places. I really like VOG Power M, I used it as my main cube in the past. And here in fact this is also an example of a simple cube. There are no special tricks, features that distinguish it from other cubes. But nevertheless, despite its simplicity, it remains one of the best and quality cubes today. Frankly speaking, both internal and external structure of this cube performs really high quality. I love these colors, they are just a little bit matte, but slightly different. I mean, the colors are dim, but a little different from the previous cube. I love that there is premium plastic here, but unfortunately the premium plastic is only on the inside of the rib. As for the corner, only a small part, the skirt of this corner, is covered with premium plastic. Maybe that's enough, maybe not, I can't say. And there is a little notch to reduce the friction on each corner element. Well, I think these cubes are going to compete with each other for the first place. And we're moving on to Gauguin. The big downside of Gauguin is that there is no color version yet. And talking about plastic, the plastic inside is naturally not a premium, the only cube with no premium plastic, and I can even feel it. I feel that it is light, there is no so much plastic inside. That is, I understand the manufacturer has cheapened this cube as much as possible in the expense of design. But it still got his own features, we will talk about it later. Well, let's then sum up. For its design, of course, Gen X gets a full 5 points exactly. I will give 4 points to Vogue, probably because it is an ageless classic. Well, the WR gets 3 points, which is good. Which is good enough because there are some drawbacks of this cube. And the cheapest models. Grogan EDM gets 1 point because compared to the rest of the cubes, it is very much inferior. And the cheapest MGC version 2 gets 2 points. Total we have the following results. And now the interesting thing. We're going to go to my favorite and sweetest, and that's the features of each of these cubes. As a man who makes reviews and unboxing, I love to dig into all the little things that are in puzzles, and I know by heart what these 3 cubes are. But I still need to examine these 2. So I suggest you to look at the features of these cubes and let's just count them together. Let's start with the Gen X cube, and probably the first feature will be that the pouch comes with the package. Man, this is the only cube that has the pouch included. In addition, his second feature is additional protective box. The design of the box and its packaging is also a separate feature for me, because I get a separate pleasure from the fact that there is even a card that certifies these products. My god, great! Count the features with me in the comments. If I missed something, please write about it. Next we have replaceable magnets. We can make this Rubik's Cube both magnetic and non-magnetic, as well as highly magnetic. If you don't know how it works, I'll just show you. It's just pure pleasure. Magnets change in just one click, and this is the kind of thing that I think can be counted as a second feature, because Gen was the first to make this technology and probably so far are the only one. That's how we just changed the magnetism of this element. That's great, folks. I think the way it's all set up, it's a separate hook. They even did their best with the boxes, and I really love it. Next we have, of course, an additional feature. These are nuts with different degree of elasticity. And the most interesting thing, these are 2 features in one, because we have the version of numerical crosspiece. That is the only crosspiece where there is no bolts screwed in it, but the nuts are twisted on it. And here it is not even necessary to twist. Everything is relayed by the locking mechanism very clearly and smoothly. Now you don't have to count the turns, you have everything written on your nut. Can you imagine? 2 features in one. I enjoy Gen. Let's move on to the inside of this puzzle. By the way, you can disassemble all this with a simple push like this, without even turning this puzzle. Look how beautifully everything is done. My god, that's why I love Gen. It's lubricated, yes, it's lubricated. Folks, let it be a feature, I like it when things ready to go. Guys, we have here these unique honeycombs, like a swarm of bees just let into Gen's factory, and they made this kind of beauty on every detail. And all of this is needed to keep the lubricant as long as possible in these honeycombs, and to reduce the friction between the details. They also have a special, barely noticeable double petals like this on the inner part of the element, which prevents the cube from simply falling apart. And about the magnetism. I think we can ignore it, because each of the cubes that I have today are magnetic. Everything in this cube makes me want it. My god, please forgive me, for the first time in my life I say this, but I think that Gen X numerical RPG is a sexy Rubik's Cube. 5 points go to Gen. Moving on, Vogue 3 Power M, what does it have in its set? The unique box, with magnet, the cool stand for the cube, let it be its feature, maybe someone keeps a cube this way on a shelf. About the set features, I don't know if it refers to the pros or cons, but it has a rag, Vogue rag, which serves for wiping this cube. A special branded rag. Well, no one expected this. I was surprised by this rack a long time ago and I never ceased to wonder. Another thing I noticed when I unpacked it was that there was an element that allows you to simply change the central detail if you don't want to have the VOG logo. It's cool, I really appreciate it. VOG, thank you, you don't feed us with your logos, it's great. Well, as a matter of fact, these are all of its features. Although no, I completely forgot that there is a set of additional springs. We will count it as a feature too, but I don't think I'm the only one who forgot about the springs. It seems to me that absolutely every person who takes VOG doesn't even touch these springs. They are there in this box and no one even touched them. So that was VOG Power M. Count in the comments the features of this cube, write about those I didn't tell and write down your points. And I've already made my decision. Okay folks, we have warmed up, let's move on to WR. What's in its set? This cube was delivered packed in this way. Quite a cool box, and here its features begin. This is the most tightly packed box I've ever seen, because here we have two boxes, one cube and the other additional pieces that are the features of this puzzle. Let's count as a feature the way it's packed, because here we have the package, the safety box and the stand. We can magically transform it all and build this construction. If you are not as crooked-handed like me, you will build the unique stand for your puzzle. It looks good enough. I think we should give 2 points for it. And then we have a whole box of interesting things. Inside this Rubik's Cube, as you know, there are magnets. And I can say that these extra magnets are a cool thing. Because if something suddenly falls out, or if you break something, you can use these magnets that are here. What's more, I'm sure these magnets have a stronger magnetism, if I may say so. So I think it's a feature. An extra cross piece, only this cube has one. If somehow the tractor runs over your WR and breaks everything in it, even the cross piece, you can rebuild it, because you have the cross piece and damn it, the extra bolts are here, but with the springs that have other pressing power. These are 2 additional features. Well, the third additional feature is the cube configuration kit. Frankly speaking, I don't know who uses it. Gen has implemented this system very cool, because there you don't need so much time to adjust the Rubik's Cube equally from all sides. Let's take a look inside and find one more feature. And I think the inner structure of this cube is also a feature, because there's an infinite number of internal rotation axes that prevent this cube from falling apart and improve the stability of the solvent. As you can see, the parts are attached to each other by magnets, and they have a lot of points of contact. And here we also have the rails and sleepers, and a lot of you have noticed that there's a nut like this. And all this tells us that it's an extra tuning system. In addition to tightening bolts, we can adjust the spring's tension using this special key. Like this. I don't know how it works yet, but I count it as an extra feature. In general, the package of this cube is really very close to the features that Gen has, but here it is all made much more worse and more primitive. But still, there are plenty of features in this cube. Let's move on. So, MGC is the most budget, but I don't know, the most hopeful Rubik's Cube. There's nothing beautiful inside the box to look at, and I don't recommend you to look at it, because there's very cheap cardboard and there's blister like this. My god, blister! Those who use blister in their packages, you have to know it, you are from the last century. So the set is a bit poor here. Yeah, they tried to show they are doing their best, so here we have some extra pins like this. How do they work? Now we'll deal with it and try to understand how it is implemented. Okay, extra point for the nuts. What else do we have inside? Nothing. This box is our last hope. Let's see what we have here. Of course, extra magnets. It can be considered a benefit, but roughly speaking. That is magnets, these things, I don't know what to call them, nuts maybe, and screwdriver. Okay, let's see from the inside what we can do with these nuts, because frankly speaking, I'm very interested. Well, I'll take apart the green side, for example. God, the screwdriver is really awkward. Well, it's really uncomfortable. Okay, good. What do we have here? Oh, I got it. It's just interchangeable springs that have different level of tension and can be changed. It's the same story as GAN, only we need to use bolts for these springs. Okay, it's a decent thing, but then again, it's made really primitively and so inconvenient. I don't like it when it's like this. Oh, it's lubricated! My god, the budget cube is lubricated, hallelujah! Okay, it was a budget cube and I didn't expect a lot of features from it, but we've got the last one on the list, but not the most cheap cube, Gwogan EDM. So we're gonna count this kind of a box as the two features, but honestly this stand is not something really exciting. Again, the greatest hope for this box. What's in it? All those things we have already seen before, but here they are placed badly. It's an extra cross piece, an extra screwdriver, extra magnets, one extra bolt adjuster, and a bunch of things I'm not going to use. Okay, let's say it's a feature. The only thing that distinguishes this cube from the others, here on the magnets we have a switch like this. I don't know what to call it. The magnets can be switched to the lower position and to the upper position. This is a very good idea of how to implement several magnets in one cube. But I think that this is the only unique feature of this cube that distinguishes it from others. So, summing up each of the puzzles, I want to say that in fact, all the Rubik's Cube features seem to me not the last criteria in assessment of the puzzle itself. And I really love it when everything is done qualitatively, like GAN X, so GAN gets 5 points. Vogue 3 Power M earns 3 points from me. Also, WR Cube has a huge amount of features in it, so I will give it 4 points. Almost every GAN's feature was implemented in this cube, but here it is all made in rather shabby way, I would say. Gwogan EDM has completely disappointed me, again it will receive only 1 point. However, I want to remind you that it is the only cube that has a feature of changing magnets, not taking them out of the elements. MGC version 2 with a surprisingly powerful set of features also earns 3 points. But guys, this is rather an exception, because it is a really cheap Rubik's Cube which has so many additional items. So folks, we have the next situation, a complete mess on my table and in my head too, but to structure all my thoughts about each of these Rubik's Cubes, we move on to their main characteristics, the speed and control of each Rubik's Cube. Now I'm going to solve each of them at speed and tell you my impressions. It is also worth mentioning that all the points that I give are purely my subjective assessment. You may have a different opinion towards each of these cubes and I'm ready to read them in the comments. As for the GAN X model, it's probably one of the fastest models I've ever solved, but I only say so because recently GAN X has been my main Rubik's Cube. And the speed is really impressive. The speed that can be developed on individual algorithms is simply prohibitive, but it doesn't affect well the control of this cube. The faster the speed, the worse your fingers cope with the edges, and to be honest, I'm a little a little tired from the fact that my fingers don't keep up with its fast edges. Well, so this is my impressions about this puzzle. VOC 3 Power M, an old friend, age-old legend. A cube which rotation characteristics reminds me the distant year 2017, when the speedcubing was not so popular, and such Rubik's cubes were considered really cool. But right now I'm a little bit dissatisfied with its control, but I'm satisfied with the rotation softness of this cube and its speed. In principle, you can adapt to it, especially if you adjust it a little bit. I guarantee that you will be able to set maybe even a world record with it, I don't know. A good cube, very good, but I'm still struggling to figure out what points to give it compared to the rest. Let's move on to the next one. WR, world record, a cube whose name is simply begs us to set a world record with it. And it seems to me that this is probably the most reliable contender for the win in the next two nominations, speed and control. I guess, I don't know, I don't often solve this cube. Okay, let's be honest, I practically haven't turned this cube in my hands at all. But I think it's much faster than GAN. Much faster. I don't know why I have such impressions, very mixed feelings, because I've never turned nothing faster than GAN in my life. And here's the thing. Really unexpected for me, to be honest. But despite its speed, guys, it has really impressive control. I'm trying to turn it as carelessly as I can, and yet I'm still able to control it well, because it's easy to cut more than 45 degrees angles here. This cube is soft, light and very fast. Yes, GAN, I'm sorry, but I will give the victory to this cube. This is a new discovery for me. Most likely it will become my main cube. Let's see what points will show. And two budget models. Let me start with Grogan EDM. The speed is excellent, as well as GAN, but don't forget that this is a budget cube. It feels very light, looks like GAN Air, and for old facts I will say that it looks like a Rubik's Cube which was called Fang G. Because it's like it's empty inside, like it's only air there. But still, it feels like the plastic is very bad and it won't last long. However, the rotation is quite controlled, but you can really feel some roughness, you know, because of a non-quite high-quality plastic. I don't know, it's very hard to rate it. It's, you know, it's faster than VOC, but you can't control it like that. Control probably is a positive point, and speed too, but the sensations during the solving are not pleasant. Okay, I will decide how to rate it. And the cube, which I have high hopes for, MGC, budget cube, my god, it's extremely soft, very soft solving. The control is excellent, I make very fast movements, and almost every turn reaches the point I need. Magnets work wonderfully, the cube lies wonderfully in the hands and sounds as pleasant as, I don't know, as the first word of the baby. Let's do a test solving. You know, I really like this cube. I want to give it a little head start because it's actually budget, one of the cheapest, or stop, it's the cheapest cube. Well, then yeah, it's worth it. Okay, it's not so fast, it's still the slowest of all, but guys, not the worst, because in the case of control, it's probably ahead of maybe even VOC. So let's put points. Well, let's sum up. GAN X. You know, I was surprised by its speed, but it's in the second place now, so it gets a 4. As for the control of GAN X, I was never satisfied with it, so I will give, I don't know, well, most likely 4, although I have some doubts. VOC Power M gets 2 for its speed, this old man can get more, but nevertheless I'm satisfied with its control. I will give it 3 points. As for the WR, this is a revelation for me, folks. I'm going to give this cube 2 A's. Just because it's a new cube for me and it really surprised me with its speed and control. As for the EDM cube, the speed of this cube is excellent, but still I don't know here, probably I have to put the same points. But talking about MGC version 2, guys, it's a wonderful cube with this level of speed and this level of control. This cube surprises me more and more. And the last, guys, the impressions. Guys, a few days ago I have prepared another batch of cool bar trick bets for you, so subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications not to miss this cool video. No matter how I love speed cubing, guys, today I'm shooting the video about 5 cubes almost whole day, and to be honest, I'm tired. But nevertheless, it's necessary to finish the job. It's very difficult to choose the best among these models because each of them is special in its own way. But still, it is time to talk about the overall impressions of these cubes. I will give 5 points to Gen because I love it very much, just because it's really cool. You know how much I love this cube, but I've been getting a little tired of it lately, so I want to make a difference. I don't need a better cube, perhaps there's no better cube, but I just want trying something new, some new Rubik's Cube, and probably the first pretender for me will be WR. The cube Moyu Weilong WR surprised me very much with its rotation characteristics. I didn't even deeply explore all its tuning features, magnets and everything else, but I can say that it is probably one of the fastest and at the same time controlled cubes that I've ever sold, so it gets 5 points too. But here it's hard to decide. VOC. VOC already doesn't deserve as much attention as it was before. It used to be just the legendary cube, the best of its kind, but now there are a lot of cubes that beat it. However, many people like it, and I've been using it for over a year, so it's only a 3. And these 2 budget cubes, I don't even know what to say about them. I will inflate their scores probably just because they are cheap. And as for Gwogen EDM, everything is fine in it. The price is cheap, good speed, good control and God knows everything else, but the only thing that bothers me is the quality of the plastic, which will fade very quickly. I think there is not much plastic here, so this Rubik's Cube is really just for a couple of months, because it's just going to collapse after lots of solvents. But nevertheless, this cube left me a pleasant impression, so you will probably be surprised now. But 3 points as well as VOC. And my favorite cube, my baby, I'll call it that, the cube MGC. Surprised me to my core. I never thought that a budget cube like this, so inexpensive cube, so cheap, the cheapest of all, would show itself to be so powerful, so high quality and cool. So I give him 5 too. 5. Guys, this is a 5. So we have 2 C's and 2 A's. Let's put it in our table. 5 for Gen, 3 for VOC, 5 for WR, 3 for EDM, and MGC gets 5. And as a result we get the following rating. Gen scores 24 points, VOC scores 17 points, WR scores 25 points, EDM scores 15 points, and MGC version 2 scores 22 points. The totals you see on your screen, unfortunately or fortunately, mean absolutely nothing. I want you to choose a Rubik's Cube precisely by the criterion that is important for you. As for those cubes that are on my table today, yes, these are one of the most popular cubes, the choice of speedcubers of several countries, but they are all completely different. The best way to choose a Rubik's Cube, I believe, is trying to solve it by yourself. The more time you train, the more different Rubik's Cubes you held in your hands, the more you will be able to understand exactly what you need, as well as me. I've been using GAN for over a year, and now I want to try something new, but that doesn't mean that this cube will be better or worse than GAN. It's just that I'll get a different feel from the solving. Focus only on the sensations you get during solving. Guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. I really hope that you are not tired of such a long video. I'm tired, to be honest, so I'm gonna go rest and turn my new main cube. Well on WR.